Hello everyone, welcome back. How are you doing? What time does afternoon turn into evening? Wait, what did I say? I said afternoon, right? Evening is 6 p.m. Noon to 6, right? Is that right? Guys, I actually don't know. Morning is what? Midnight to noon? And it's noon to 6? And then 6 to midnight? Maybe? Guys, I don't know. Don't ask me. I have no clue. I have no idea. I have not seen Damsel on Netflix. Is it good? I love fantasy. So I wrote it on like my to watch, but I don't watch a lot of TV in general. But I don't know. But yeah, is my music too loud? Sorry, guys. Love the hair and the quality looks so crisp. Thank you. Oh yeah, my hair is... It's hard, man. I'm gonna be so for real. This hair is so hard to maintain. I bought some purple shampoo because I was like, you know, I think that it's a little too warm tone for me currently. It's whatever. It's whatever. Arc! There's too many games. There's simply too many games. Not enough time in the world. Guys, I'm grinding Overwatch. I had to hit Grandmaster in Overwatch. What do you want me to do? You want me to go back to Arc? I can't. I can't. I have to grind Overwatch. Did you get more jacked? No. Dude, everyone says I look jacked, and guys, I don't work out. I mean, I don't work out. It's one of my insecurities. I'm scared I'm gonna be old, and that I'm scared I'm gonna get old and then be really weak, and so I'm trying to like incorporate it. I was working out like 3 days out of a week in the beginning of the year, and then I got depressed, and then I messaged my trainer. I was like, hey, I'm depressed, I can't do this anymore. And then she just messaged me yesterday. She's like, Joe, do you want to do some training? And you know what, I'm gonna be honest, guys, I don't want to. But I think that's like it's like, okay, I technically have the discipline to show up for when I do have training, but instead I would rather find some sort of exercise that I just genuinely enjoy. That there's like something out there where I'm like, yeah, ow. What's up, Eric? How are you?
Hi,
today's stream, so I actually have a dinner at 8 p.m. So I'm gonna play games until like 7:30. We're gonna play some games. I got coached this morning. Guys, I reached out to Wanted. If you are from the Overwatch community, you're probably familiar with him. And then I remembered he was also in streamer camp, whatever the fuck streamer camp that was. Streamer camp 4 or 5, 7, 8, 9. The last streamer camp. And I'm from streamer camp 1. We're streamer camp alumni. Yes, I reached out to Wanted, which basically is the Cassidy 1 trick. Like oh, there you are. So basically I just played some games, got some advice. We'll see. I don't know, man. She's got coaching. It's definitely uncurable. Okay, but think about it, guys. My ego's pretty big, and you do know that about me, but think about it this way. I feel like with Overwatch, I got a chance there, okay? Valorant, I went about it all wrong. I 5-stacked and people started yelling at me. I was insecure. That was my first competitive game, you know, my aim, like, it was good, but people were just like in my ear all the time, okay? This is not copium. And then it comes to Overwatch, and I'm like, guys, like, I can do this. So I'm going about it in all the right ways, no? We'll see. I have no idea. We'll see. Are you gonna change your Twitch profile picture because of your new hair? No. Mostly because I'm lazy. PUBG too? Shut up. Don't lie to me. There's a special place in my heart for PUBG. That's why I do aerial silks and pole dancing. It was fun and a workout. Wait. You're so onto something. I want to learn how to pole dance. That looks so sick. What are you reading right now? What did I just finish? What did I just read? God, I never remember. Hold on. So if you guys are ever curious about what I'm reading, I have a Storygraph and I update it. Like I'm very good about updating it. So if I'm not updating it, means I'm not currently reading. But okay, I just read Throne of the Fallen, and then I just read A Fate Inked in Blood, and then I just also read Shatter Me. So I finished Shatter. Shatter Me is like, I finished it in a day. Okay, Throne of the Fallen felt kind of cringe. I just like actually, ooh. Like I think about it, I'm like, oh, that was a little cringe. That one was a little cringe. I liked what the author was doing, but I just think it wasn't done well. Basically, it was like kind of this mystery. There was a puzzle to be solved, but it just like felt really eh. The app is called Storygraph. I really like Storygraph. If you guys read, I would say like you would really like Storygraph. I like Storygraph way better than like Goodreads or anything. So I don't use Goodreads, but I use Storygraph. Shatter Me. Okay. Guys, I think Shatter Me started off real strong. I was like, wow, this is interesting. Something I actually really like about Shatter Me also was how it was written. Like, I think that a lot of authors fall into the trap of being like, I went to the store. I picked up a drink. I opened the drink and I took a sip. It was refreshing. Rather than being like, I don't know, entering the store, I found the drink that I had been craving. The sip was so refreshing. Like, it's like, do you know what I'm trying to, yeah, if like a lot of authors, I think, do first person a little not, like a little poorly. And that's where it feels like very fanficky. Not that I can write, okay? It's just like, as somebody who reads, I do go, oh, this feels like a fanfic, because you're just like, I, you, this, I said. So yeah, it's a lot of telling and not showing, and I do really well with showing. So Shatter Me, in the beginning, I was very impressed. I was very impressed by the writing style. I was like, wow, what a fun and interesting writing style. They write it as if you are literally in her mind, where it's like she's like repeating things. There's mantras, there's scratch outs, there's like things that she's saying out loud, but she's not saying them in her, like she's thinking one thing in her mind, but she's saying another thing, or like she's overwriting. Like I was very impressed. But then to me, Shatter Me basically turned into a worse, lesser than version of X-Men, with some weird love story going on that I was just like, what is happening here? What the fuck are you doing? Apparently that's an ongoing series. I will not be finishing it. It was whatever. I think if you're interested into some kind of uncomfortable enemies to lovers type moment, you might. It's literally X-Men. I'm like not kidding. If you guys like X-Men, it's basically Rogue. Everyone that's in X-Men is in Shatter Me. There's somebody who can't be touched, nor can touch people. There's somebody who can become invisible. There's a stretchy person. There's, okay. It's whatever, but it's 6 books. It's a long series. I read A Fate Inked in Blood. I don't. Oh, that one was good. That one was okay. It wasn't. This one was about a girl who. I don't know how to say anything else about it. That one was okay. That one wasn't bad. But it's not out yet. Like the series isn't out. But I do think I have cured my book. Like after finishing Red Rising, I was like, yeah, I really need some easily digestible. Like I need the equivalent of like reality TV, but for books. And I think I did that. And now I'm like moving on. I wish I had liked fantasy, but I'm a hardcore romance reader. Wow. I actually like don't, my romance cannot be, I hate contemporary romance. I cannot read contemporary romance. I have to have some sort of fantasy or there has to be some fantasy fiction of some sort, like has to be fantasy, science fiction, whatever. Wow, that was that felt great. Shatter Me had a good world and I like powers, but I think they made the center around relationships and I didn't like that. Yeah, I was just like uncomfortable. Also, guys, I know I'm getting old. I know I'm getting old. Not that I think I'm old, okay, but I know I'm getting older, okay? Because when I read things and the main character's like, and I'm 17, I literally go, no, you're not. You're 27. In my mind, you're gonna be 27. 17, you're an infant. You're a baby. I can't be reading about babies. And I just override it in my head because I'm like, no, you can't be 17. No. So anytime that I have a character that's really young, like 21, I'm like, okay, we're 21. Frontal lobe's getting there. The maturities, we're getting there. 17, I'm like, Jesus Christ. Is this for YA? Because then I get, a lot of things are written YA and it, you know, you should read author James Joyce love letters to his girlfriend for some top tier smut. Wait, is it a book? Is it literal love letters? I've read Hunger Games. Hunger Games is a great series. Hunger Games was fire. Read it when I was a freshman in high school, so I don't remember it anymore. But I'm 17. Goes on and elaborates how they're fighting wars and meeting multiple men. No, I actually feel so similarly. I'm like, girl, at 17? There's no way. There's no way. I hate when the main character's like, I had the worst day of high school. And I'm like, okay, I can't read high school settings. Really. Like if you're in high school, I'm telling you, I just override it. Like you have to be, I don't know. I have to override it. I prefer the YA style, honestly, because I find the non-YA writing just flat out lazy. It can be, I don't mind YA. Like, for example, I think Fourth Wing is written very YA, okay? I do think it's like
a TikTok where a teacher saw a fourth grader
a young adult
icebreaker
style, but the themes of it are not, which I think keeps it very interesting. I think that's why a lot of people like Fourth Wing. Super easy, digestible read, fun storyline, fun fantasy setting, smut, you know? But I saw a TikTok where a teacher saw a fourth grader reading Icebreaker. Okay, I've not read that book. I will never read that book. I've heard about that book, which apparently, if I remember correctly, Icebreaker is like the classic. Oh, it's a hockey player and I don't even know, ballerina, maybe ice skater, something like that. Big man, small girl, basically just smut. But that's what I mean by like, I can't read contemporary romance. I'm not interested. Guys, I do love smut, okay? I'm a smut enthusiast. I think if you're of age, smut is, okay, can be chef's kiss, can be great. And if you are a guy with a girlfriend, read some smut. I really am encouraging you. But it's like, I can't read only smut. Like it's just my brain, I'm not interested. I'm actually just not interested. What did I get recommended? I got recommended a book. I tried it. I was like, oh yeah, this is not for me. It was about vampires. I don't know. Yeah. I started reading smut in middle school. You know, I started reading some things that I should not have been online at the age that I was online at, but it probably damaged me in ways that I will never understand. And I'm just trying to look out for you guys. So what's smut? Written erotica, but generally with like, it's not, I like to, okay, for me, it's like erotica's just only spice. But then smut to me is like, there's plot, there's things going on outside of that. Now, the exact definition, I don't know, but smut was never on my radar until I turned 20. Just straight up didn't know it existed. And that's actually a good thing. Really did. Did you see the football player JJ Watt post on Twitter? He was gonna read Court of Thorns and Roses and because his girlfriend, but didn't know what it was. Okay, but I think Court of Thorns and Roses is like really the second book in that series is the one that matters. I just think that was like the entryway for people to start reading fantasy, and I'm like, yeah, I love fantasy. But how do I always have something that But like, for example, now that you've read A Shot in the Ember, I think A Shot in the Ember is way better. Like, I just think it's actually way better in literally all aspects. I like the plot more. I like the characters more. Like all the supporting characters more. I think Actor though does a good job as like the first one. Or like if you know. I also think the spice is good. The spice is in the second book is great. But like I just yeah. Some really good fantasy books are Heavenly Bodies. I'll write them down. I'll check them out. Thank you for the Rex. I have read Iron Flame. Hello, Sean. Tips hat. Aluna, Standing of the Eight. Infinite Satoru. Think of the 8. Karu, think of the 6. Sanguine Penguin, think of the 8. Bumbo, think of the 33. Mufasa, think of the 30. Salt, think of the 29. Nat, think of the 8. Merlin the Midget, think of the 30. Peyton, think of the 34. No, think of the 4. Where am I? I think I got everyone. I'm hesitant to start it because I fear it's going to be a little too cringe. I mean, I think every book will occasionally have some level of cringe. What did I just read? I had to go. Throne of the Fallen. Oh, he kept calling her pet. I was gonna never mind. Those are some violent words, but I was like, literally stop. Anytime I would see it, I actually would just skim it over it. I would just pretend it wasn't said. It was, you know? So some of them are bad. But I don't think A Court of Thorns and Roses is too cringe. I don't think I remember cringing at that.
Woo.
But it has been literally like 3 years since I've read it, so I don't remember. I've been reading One Dark Window and I honestly loved it. Loved One Dark Window. I thought One Dark Window was really well done. Now I don't think that's like super smutty, but I think it's a really good book. It's a two book series, so if you're looking for something like really quick, easy, I think it does a really good job. It's interesting. There's a mystery kind of thriller to it. The magic system is really intriguing. It's basically about a deck, and each card is associated with a power that you can use. So some cards you could I don't know, become invisible, or you could never lie, or like you could, you know, like get the truth from someone. But as most magic systems work, when you use them, there's also like the balance, so it takes something from you. I really liked that book, but I think the first book is really strong, and the second book went a direction that I was like, oh wow, okay, it's still good. I wasn't expecting it. I think the second book is still good, but it's not like, wow, you know? The first book I was like, oh, whoa, okay. I love Song of Achilles. That's literally the book. I love Song of Achilles. I wish I could forget that book and read it again. I truly love Song of Achilles. It's not for everybody, but everyone that I've recommended it to in my real life that has read it have loved it. I want to say that's 3 people now, and I get the text where they text me and they're like, holy fuck, I'm crying, this book was so good, I read it in a day. But yeah, so I would say Song of Achilles is an incredible read. This thing in my eye. Book Talk, can I actually participate in the call? But no. Yeah, we can talk about Shadow in the Ember. Your hair is perfect for summer. Thank you. Thank you. It's gonna make me cry, so I never finish the last. You have to finish it. You have to finish it. The ending is actually the best part, which is it's so well done. I just love that book. I really do. Have you read Circe? I have read Circe. I really liked Circe. But if I had to do it over again, I would actually read Circe before I read Song of Achilles, because I think Song of Achilles is so good that it dwindled Circe for me, because I was like, nothing will live up to this, and I read it right after. So if I was to redo it, I would read Circe and then I'd read Song of Achilles. What are some good books that are not smutty? So Song of Achilles, Circe, Electra, if you're into like kind of the, what is that, Greek mythology type thing. Let me look at my shelf. I really did love that. Wait, okay, Dragon Bones is really it's very simple, but like kind of a feels good book. I don't think it's spectacular, but it was just really fun in an interesting way. It's a really easy read. It's actually a multi-part series, but I read the first book and I was so satisfied with the first book that I was like, you know, I don't need to read the rest of the series. But that one is by Patricia Briggs, if I remember correctly. One Dark Window, there is technically like romance, but I would not like say that was spice, I guess, because things can get really like graphic. I would not say One Dark Window was graphic. One Dark Window was really good. I really liked that one. Oh, Red Rising. Oh, so fucking good. Red Rising, guys. I will ride or die for that book. Like if my house was burning, I would grab Song of Achilles and Red Rising. Period. Okay. What else do I got? I really am in the wrong. Another book that I actually really liked that isn't fiction, but was just a really fun read, especially for somebody in a relationship, was Mating in Captivity. Mating in Captivity just talks about like kind of the pressure of like how much pressure there is in monogamous relationships, because we as a society used to live in a village and now we don't. Now we kind of rely on one person to be our everything. And then also how intimacy and desire and like this relationship we have between the two, whereas like desire requires mystery and novelty, and then intimacy requires like someone to be very well known and things like that. But it like, yeah, I think it was just like a really interesting read. So if you're looking for nonfiction, that was my favorite nonfiction read in the last couple of months. You have a favorite YA book? What is a YA book? Hunger Games? Divergent, maybe? I read those when I was younger. I don't remember them now, but I remember liking them a lot. Mistborn is also another really popular one. So if anyone likes Brandon Sanderson, I think I'm not the biggest fan of Brandon Sanderson's writing, like literal writing style, like the literal prose, because he's a very telling and not showing author, which I can understand, like respect, like I get through the story because I'm so intrigued by the magic system. But from somebody who generally read like romance fantasy or just any kind of other fantasy, like where there's so much imagery and show, I was like kind of had whiplash reading his books. But I think if you can get past that, then you will be immersed, because I think that the magic systems themselves are really unique. So for example, Mistborn basically is that you can consume metals, or you have metals in your body and you burn them, and each metal is associated with some sort of power. So like I think it was like iron, I can't remember. You would like burn iron, for example. I can't remember the exact one, but just bear with me. You would burn iron, and iron you could like maybe pull yourself to something, to an object. You would like anchor yourself and pull, and then you would burn another metal that would push you. So for example, you could pull yourself up and push yourself off, and people would fly based off that. Like really, really unique, interesting magic system. So I can't recommend Mistborn because I didn't actually like it in terms of like my journey through the story, but I loved the magic system. I was like, wow, that is so unique that I would recommend it to like Broden, Sean. I think they would really appreciate it. It's kind of like if you liked Avatar: The Last Airbender, you'd probably like Mistborn. That's how it felt to me. Like that's how that magic system felt. Like it was just like, holy shit, cool. But unfortunately, I just the literal writing style is a little mundane for me. But to each their own. Yeah, it is very Avatar coded. Hello, SM Ani, welcome. How can you have the energy to reread a book? I'm dying. I don't reread books. I haven't reread a book. I don't think I've ever reread a book. Yeah, I don't think I've ever reread a book. Do I? I don't think I have. It's almost like literary fiction, but with fantasy elements. It's called Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. And Brandon Sanderson is a really popular author. He has many books, crazy series. Another one that is really popular by him that I have not read is Stormlight Archive. But I don't know what that one's about. Did you like the Cruel Prince series? I think that series was god awful. I think that story was bad. Like, for me, that was a book I did not like. I did not like. People are like, oh, Enemies to Lover, this is so good. The angst. I was like, I do not like this. I don't like it at all. I cannot remember what I hated. I think just the whole relationships made no sense to me. The sister, people, the dynamic. I didn't really care for it at all. I just didn't like it. I just didn't like it at all. But I do think, like, maybe if that was your first book ever, you'd probably like it. Like, I think if you were just like getting into fantasy, romance, whatever, you'd probably like it. To me, I would never read that again. Did I finish it? I don't even remember. I must have. I think I did. It's bad. Oh, I do remember. So I read the first book. I started the first book and everyone's like, Jody, it's so good. It's so good. So then I was like, okay, I picked it up. I put it down. A year later, I was like, guys, this sucks. And Chad was like, no, it gets good. I swear. I was like, okay, I'll try again. Tried it again, finished it, closed it, said that was god awful, but to each their own. I just think like books, it's like TV shows, okay? Everyone's gonna have their own favorite TV show, and that's fair, and it wasn't for me. I didn't like it. But I shouldn't have picked it up again. I have read Serpent in the Wings of Night. I think, basically, guys, I've read a lot of books. Serpent in the Wings of Night, I actually really liked. I really liked the first book. I was totally for this, like, angsty romance. I was like, ooh, I feel this. There's tension here. But the second book was so, like, we've lost it. We've lost the magic. But the first book, there was something there. Last month of university, glad to hear that. Welcome back. Thank you for the 42. I do not play Tekken. I do not. El Confidante, thank you for the 10. Calistia, thank you for the 4. Diggy, thank you for the 5. Alunistan, thank you for the 8. Welcome back. I don't have a Goodreads, but if you guys are curious about what I'm reading, you just have to get Storygraph. You don't even have to get an app. It's online too. But yeah, I have a Storygraph. But Goodreads is whatever, man. I don't know. Storygraph is 10 times better. I've never read Game of Thrones. It's not finished, right? See, I tried reading Divine Rivals, but it didn't hook me. So I gotta go back to it or never read it again. ACOTAR, okay. I just talked about this, but ACOTAR to me, I think, is good. I think the second book is really good. Really good. Did everything right. And then the rest of the series is pretty whatever to me. The first book had me intrigued. Second book had me. Third book, fourth book, I don't remember. I remember, and then I don't even think that I finished the series. I think it's good though. I think it's fun. I think if you're just getting into like fantasy fae, it is like beautifully written. I think the monsters and mythical beings of it are really fun. Like, I remember like this scene where she goes into the house in the woods with like that witch being and she has to grab a ring or whatever.
Have a good stream,
I really
Jody.
love that. Like, I love that kind of vibe. But I don't think it's like the greatest thing ever, but I do really like it. I think it was a very fun read. ACOTAR was my first fantasy and was definitely a good intro. Yeah, like I think if you were just getting into fantasy, like you'll love it. It's so fun. How'd you get through the Crescent series? Have you read it? I've read the first, liked the first, if I remember correctly. Read the second, was like, where the fuck are we? The ending of the second book I had me was like, oh, okay. And then the third book I heard is bad and probably won't be reading it. Because the first book was enough for me. Okay, okay, so I read Throne of Glass, which is like a 7-book series. That was another one where my child was like, you just have to get through the first book. So I did. I got beef with that story. I really do. I got beef with it. Now I got beef with it because spoilers. Okay, this is my spoiler hand. If you do not want to be spoiled, then mute me until my hand is down. Okay? Right. No one dies. And I'm going to be honest, it's just a little unrealistic. I think Sarah J. Maas just has like a really hard time killing people off, and that's fair. It's just not for me, because I think it's unrealistic that we're just going to fucking war. The whole goddamn world is at war, and none of your close friends are going to die, and all your friends are going to fall in love with each other. I'm just like, just kill someone. I'm sorry, but this is just not, you're pulling me out. You're pulling me out of the immersion because no one dies. The only people that die are like closely affiliated to one of the main character, like her witch sisters, okay? And that was sad, and I did cry, and I literally thought to myself, okay, more of that. Because something that I think Red Rising did really well was people died, and that was real. We were at fucking war. And I was like, you know, reading that, so good. Throne of Glass, I think, if you are somebody who really likes like watching shows because they're comforting, you know, because you know what's gonna happen, know what's gonna die, read Throne of Glass. For me, I was like, oh, I'm a little uninterested because I know what's gonna happen. Oh, she's gonna go get to her, oh, whatever, she's gonna be saved. Like, I just was like, I'm uninterested. You've lost me. But still fun fantasy read. I'm done. ACOTAR's Crescent City and I do think Sarah J. Maas just has like a thing for that. Like, just can't do it, and that's fine. But that is like my one gripe with it. Timing is it? Thank you. Thank you for the 30. Welcome back. She's attached. She's very attached, and I can tell. As a reader, I can wholeheartedly tell. I have read Blood and Ash, but that shit lost me, you guys. I read that, and then by the end of the first one, I was like, this is getting repetitive. And then by the second one, I was like, Jesus Christ, I get it. You like that she stabs you. I'm over it. You've lost me. Rod, I think of the 29. Luma's like the 1 year. Laurie, I think of the 42. But guys, the sister series to From Blood and Ash, impeccable. I was like, sometimes this author hits, and then other times not at all. And I don't know exactly what happens, but basically I read From Blood and Ash, and then in From Blood and Ash, you meet, what is his name? Oh my god, Niktos and Serafina, I believe. Whatever. She introduces, I don't remember their names, to be honest. She introduces that into a book, basically. And you do not need to read From Blood and Ash. That book was incredible. That book was so good. That was a book I had all my mods read. And they all liked it. Which I feel like is pretty talent. Like, if the book is good to somebody who doesn't read, it's pretty good, no? So it's called A Shadow in the Ember. And again, it's a sister series to From Blood and Ash in the sense that like it's set in the same world. It was in fact a banger. It was good. It's good. You will like the main characters. You will like the supporting characters. You will like the world, the magic system, the mystery. I would say the worst part about it is book 3. Book 3 to me was like, I already knew it was going to happen. So I think navigating that space is hard to keep a reader engaged, but I'm still reading because I love all the characters. I think it's very good. So I was very surprised because that's the same author that wrote From Blood and Ash. And I was like, you know what? Maybe like she's just getting better as a writer. But then I read her most recent book, which I can't remember the name of, but it has a blue cover. I went to the bookstore and it was like, oh, new by blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay. So I picked it up and read it. It's basically the same story of A Shadow in the Ember, copy pasted, but worse. So I was really confused. I'm like, girl, who's editing this for you? What's going on up there? Like, you're using the same exact almost dialogue and themes and ideas, and then you're putting them in a new book, but you're already writing about it in that book. I'm like, what are you doing here? So I'm not really sure, but yeah, I was gonna say, if you've read one Jennifer Armentrout, you've read them all. Yeah, but I think From Blood and Ash, or sorry, A Shadow in the Ember, very good. It's like the one I will ride or die by that series, and then everything else, I'm gonna say, girlfriend, forget about it. Just leave them. Don't write them anymore. Would you say it was better written than From Blood and Ash? From Blood and Ash plot and writing both lost me. I think it's literally 10 times better than the book. And I don't know how, because it's by the same author. I don't know. Ron, thank you for the 29. Time you save the 30. Lumos, thank you for the 1 year. What should I order for dinner? Your favorite food. Something may. I have not read Six of Crows. Hello, Barbie. Thank you. Thank you so much. What a kind compliment. Yeah, see, the problem is I've watched, what is that show? Six of Crows. Is it called Six of... So when I watch something, I generally get uninterested in the book. So I'm waiting for me to forget the show so that I can read it. I know everyone says it's really good, and unfortunately I've lost interest because I've seen it, but I will get there. I will get there. I know the show is different than the book, believe me. It's like more just like the fact that I know what will happen, quote unquote, of Shadow and Bone. I don't know. I'll get there eventually. I'm the opposite. I love watching a thing and then reading the book. Wow, I hate knowing what's happening. I'm literally like, oh, I don't care. That's why I tell everybody to... Oh, another one, Gone Girl. Gone Girl is really good. I tell everyone, if you have not seen the movie Gone Girl, you are blessed. You have to read Gone Girl. Me reading Gone Girl changed my brain chemistry. That was a book that I read in high school, and I was like, holy shit, this is so good. And then the movie came out, and I was like, holy shit, the movie is so good. I think Gone Girl just... did such a good job. I literally, halfway through the book, I remember like audibly gasping and like closing it and be like, oh my God. And then after that, I read like 2 other Gillian Flynn books, which were kind of scary. So I stopped reading them. But Gone Girl is fantastic. It's fantastic. What is Gone Girl about? I've heard about that. Basically about a couple. The wife goes missing and is presumed to be murdered or kidnapped, and it's kind of like the story follows that. Yeah, it's like a perfect couple, and she's kind of a famous author or something, so people know her. She goes missing. People are like, where did she go? Like, was it the husband? What happened?
Hello,
the girl is gone.
I just want to
the girl
thank
is
you
gone.
for
It's a
making
mystery
such
thriller, guys. It's really
just
good.
Being yourself on here, and everything you do is just amazing and truly inspiring. Less than 33.
If you read it, please let me know what you think about it. And don't look up anything. Just truly don't look up anything. If you have not seen the movie, I so totally recommend to try. Just try. You might not finish it, and that's okay. It's not for everybody, but like I think it's worth trying to read the book before the movie, because it's just like I have never been so stunned. It's really good. Sunflower Logan, thank you for the 2. Just want to say thank you so much for having amazing content, just being yourself on here, and everything you do is just amazing and truly inspired. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Gillian Flynn writes, dude, I remember I think it was Sharp Objects by her. I read that at night. I actually had to turn on the lights to sleep.
Days ever. Less than 33.
Thanks, Quicker. Thank you. What film are you talking about? Gone Girl. Do you prefer physical books or Kindle? Generally, I prefer Kindle, but I want to buy the physical book if I love it. Gone Girl, Song of Achilles, and Red Rising. Cannot wait to get to read them. I hope you like all of them. They're all very different. Those are all very different books, but I kind of love that for you. So again, Gone Girl is like a murder mystery thriller, kind of darker themes, but well done, like incredibly well done. I mean, there's a reason it got turned into a movie, right? Song of Achilles is, to me, like, that is art. Song of Achilles is beautifully written, heavy imagery, and obviously fantasy. It's a retelling of the song of Patroclus and Achilles. It's a retelling of the Iliad from an interesting point of view, and I just think it's done like so you know, like so poetic. It's so beautiful. And then Red Rising is another one where I like, God, the writing style immediately has me hooked. I think the author does an incredible job being nuanced with each character. I have never read a book where each character has so much personality. I'm like being so for real. I've never, like, what is his name? Pierce Brown, the author of Red Rising. Pierce Brown, I was so impressed because everybody like when they talk, it's just so well done. And I think it's a really fun read. There's like kind of war games.
Your book recommendations rekindled my love for reading Jade.
And it's just, there's some moments where it's funny.
Red Rising next.
It's just good. It's really good. Your book recommendations rekindle my love for reading. Super excited to start on Red Rising. So Red Rising can be really heavy. Yeah, it can be really heavy, but still. Orko, think of it the 3. Thank you. I really like Song of Kids, but after reading some reviews, I can see how it feels to portray those personalities. I do think it does. Oh, wait, like 100%. But I don't think that takes away from the story. Like, it's still a beautiful story. Do 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 do. Where was I? Where did I don't know if I missed your alert. I'm sorry. I'm having a really hard time keeping track of the ones that I've read versus not, like where I am. Oh, I can click these. Okay. I sobbed reading Song because on the plane. Yeah, I sobbed. Jobin came into my room and it was like, you know that meme where you see someone petting someone with a broom? That's how it felt. He's like, "Are you okay? What's happening here?" Yeah. You look so much stronger recently. Thanks. I'm no different. I think people get so passionate talking about their fave books is so wholesome to me. I do have a lot of favorites. When are you going back to Black? Never. Literally never. The Song of Achilles was my first ever actual read and it was just so well written, but I cannot bring myself. No, I will never. I don't know if I'll read that again. I wish I could reset time and like pretend I like I wish I could forget it so that I could read it again. But now that I've read it, I don't think I could read it again because it was just like heartbreaking, but in a very good way. Venabella, thank you for the 20. Welcome back. Can we get a ring tour? They're so cute. Thank you. That's so sweet. Yeah. Is that gonna focus? Here are my rings. I don't know if anyone remembers this, but I bought this when I like really started going full-time streaming. It's just a jade, but I bought it because I wanted to just remember like all the hard work I've done, who I do it for type thing. This is a Hawaiian ring. This is just like the very classic Hawaiian jewelry. I bought this. My mom has this person that she always buys her Hawaiian jewelry from, so that's from them. And I grew up in Hawaii, for those of you who don't know. So I went to preschool in Hawaii, and I've always had some piece of Hawaiian jewelry, whether it be a ring, a necklace, whatever. So this is just a cute gold ring that I put to tie into this one. So this one has silver and gold, and John got this for me for one of our anniversaries or something. You can't really tell, but yeah, it's basically one gold band and one silver band. And it's from Chanel. And these are crystals. These are, oh God, I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm gonna have Google pronounce this so that I don't fuck it up. Wait, why can't I?
Carnelian.
Carnelian! Sounds like a flower. Carnelian. Those colored rings looks like the Haribo friendship rings. I don't know what those are. It does kind of sound like Cornelius. Cornelius! Okay, John's ready. Perfect. Watanabe, thank you for the tier 1. Appreciate it. Luca, thank you for the tier 1. Thank you. Squishy's here, thank you for the 23. Welcome back. I love carnelian. Yeah, so they're basically just like generally meant for like self-love, motivation, confidence, and so I'm just wearing them for the vibes and to also just like remember it, you know. I also have where is it? I usually wear Tiger's Eye, but I can't play games because they're really rounded, so I don't wear it right now. Do your fingers ever hurt when you're game with ring? No, they don't hurt, but sometimes they get in the way of my mouse. I eat sand. Cool. That's really cool. Hello.
Yo.
How are you?
Dead.
Dead.
Sludge.
Why sludge?
Fatigue.
Okay, one word answers. Cool.
Dead.
Overwatch?
Low energy.
2 words. Get out of here.
Bad sleep.
2 words. Only one.
Bad
Overwatch?
sleep. I'm done. I could do a couple game. I could game. I could game. How'd the coaching go?
I've learned. I don't know. I feel like I've learned that my aim is really good. He basically was like, wow, I don't know if your aim is better than mine. It might be really close. And he says, I don't know how you're in plat. I think it just comes down to, he was like, I think it just comes down to play time because your aim is actually better than some of my teammates. So now my ego is inflated because that means I have the aim of a top 500 player. I just have to get there.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then it says work on positioning, getting high ground.
Mm-hmm.
And using my role because I basically can live through a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So that's my goal.
I'm in.